So today we are going to discuss about observation. So observation, its purposes, types, and characteristics. So when the word observation is mentioned, what comes to your mind? Anyone from the class, Karen?
Observation, it is by using empirical. So when we say empirical, it is just like five senses. Yun yung kinakailangan natin para makakapag-observe.
Okay, very good. So what is observation? So Janine, can you please read it aloud?
Kim, Kim.
Observation as means of gathering information for research may be defined as a perceiving data through the senses. Sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. According to Oxford Concise Dictionary, observation means accurate watching, noting the phenomenon by which they occur in the nature with regard to the cause and effect of mutual relation.
So basically, observation is something that basta, yun yung observation yung ginagamit nyo yung ginagamit nyo sa observing yung five senses. Next naman yung purposes of observation. Pangalanan. So, sight here, pakibasa ka lahat. Then explain.
Explain po lang.
Yes!
Okay po. Number 1 ay purpose of observation. Number 1, to enable the researcher to gather empirical data which is difficult to obtain by other means. Number 2, enable the researcher to gather sufficient data to supplement or verify information gathered by other means. 3, to enable the researcher to gather information or data needed to describe the aspect of the variable being studied which cannot describe accurately without observation. Or 4, to enable researcher gather directly, primary, or first-hand information for study for more accurate description and interpretation. And lastly, 5, to enable the researcher to gather data from laboratory or elsewhere through experimentation. So, here in observation, dito sa purpose niya is makikita natin na through observation nakakagather tayo ng mga data. So, dito is primary or secondary. So, pwedeng yun.
Okay, very good. So, let's proceed to the types of observation. So, we have here four. First one is naturalistic and controlled observation. So, when we say naturalistic and controlled observation, so it involves observing people in their natural environment without manipulating variables. So, did you get it?
Yes.
Okay. Next is sa ano yun? Naturalistic. Observing something in its natural natural environment without manipulating variables. So, sa controlled variables, it involves observing people in a controlled environment where variables can be manipulated to create specific conditions. So, for example, naturalistic observation could involve observing people's behavior in a public park. So, yeah. While controlled observation could involve observing people's behavior in a laboratory setting. So, did you see the difference, class? Ay, guys, pala. So, sa naturalistic, so, yun yung observing, ito na lang, kayo nakikinig kayo sa akin, kung nakikinig kayo. So, yan yung naturalistic observation. While, controlled observation naman is yung, it is done inside the laboratory or laboratory. So next, let's proceed to the participant and non-participant observation. So sa participant observation, it happens when the observer becomes a part of the group being studied and actively participates in the activities being studied. Sa non-participant naman, it involves observing from a distance without becoming a part of the group. So for example, Participant observation could involve joining a group therapy session and taking notes on the interactions between group members, while non-participant observation could involve observing a public meeting from a distance and taking notes on the behavior of attendees. So, sa madaling salita, sa participant, from the word participant, you are included with a specific group. While sa non-participant naman, yung, for example, tayo, nagkaklase tayo, tapos yung dalawa dun sa likod is just simply observing us doing our thing. So, ayun, yun yung non-participant observation. Then, let's proceed to the structured and structured observation. So, structured observation refers to observing people in a structured setting with predetermined activities. While a structured observation involves observing people without predetermined activities to observe. So, for example, structured observation could involve observing children's behavior during a specific day, while unstructured observation could involve observing behavior of patrons in coffee shop. So, anong napansin yung doon? Meron ba? Okay, thank you for this. Sorry. Next naman is overt and covert observation. So, sa overt observation, it involves observing people with their knowledge and consent. While covert observation involves observing people without their knowledge or consent. So, madali na yung intindihin, di ba? Nagets ka ba?
Yes.
So, for example, overt observation could involve observing people in a focus group discussion. Same with, sample ko rin kanina dun sa, sa atin. Sa classes may, basta yun. While covert observation could involve observing people through hidden cameras in a retail store. Okay, next. Let's review the characteristics of observation. Observation is a systematic method. So, observation is a systematic method. Observation is not hazard or unplanned. The length of the observation periods, the interval between them, the number of observations, the area of situation of observation, and various techniques for observation are carefully planned. The number 2, observation is a specific. It is not just looking around for general aspects of human behavior, rather it is directed at those specific aspects of total situation, which are assumed to be significant from the standpoint of the purposes of the study. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Nagsabi ka? Okay, number 3. Observation is objective. Observation should be objective and free from bias as far as possible. It should be generally guided by a hypothesis. The observer must maintain ethical neutrality. He must consider hypothesis as something to be tested. So, this thing is, dapat dito itong observation na to ay dapat meron sa, sa mga reporters, gano'n. Kasi, they are reporting something na dapat, walang labis, walang kulang, walang kinakampihan, gano'n. Not bias. Parang, when you're a reporter, dapat meron to sa code of ethics. Tsare. Next. Observation is quantitative, although many important phenomena cannot be quantified. It becomes almost an imperative to use some means of quantifying observations in order to increase their precision and to facilitate their analysis. Even the quality should be converted into quantity because qualitative data is subjective and quantitative is one objective can further be interpreted in objective manner. Oh my God, ang difference. Naintindihan nyo na yun. Next, observation is an affair of eyes. An observer gathers the data which he has seen in his own eye. Collect information through eyes is probably the most trustworthy technique of data collection in social research. Naniniwala pa kayo doon?
Yes.
Why? Bakit? Observation is an affair of eyes. Sabi niya dito, ang pinaka-trustworthy daw na observation or na parang sa data gathering is yung nakita ng naked eye mo.
Yes.
Bakit?
Kasi na-obserbahan mo siya. So, mismo ikaw yung nakaranas nung interviewer.
So bakit meron yung information na misleading, like sobra na yung information na or minsan
Yun nga, so nagiging bias na observation once dinadagdagan nila. So, hindi nila kinukuha through observation talaga.
so did you trust that yung mapanindigan nyo yung nyo na trustworthy ang ay report ko pala to so kaya mag-agree ako. Sige na lang. Next, definite aim. Number 6. Observation must have some definite aims and objectives. It should be clearly defined before the beginning of the actual observation process. Without the proper aims and objectives, observation will be unsystematic and expensive. So, ayun na nga. So, kailangan kapag when you're observing something or nag-gather ka ng data, dapat meron kang objectives na sinusunod. Kasi, hindi naman pwede yung gather ka lang ng gather ng data without, knowing na okay ba yung data na yun or what, di ba? Kasi kapag kuha ka lang ng data ng wala kang sinusunod, pwede kang mawala sa lumayo yung instead of direct to the point na yung mo, lalayo ka pa. Tama?
Yes.
Next, the record of observation is maintained. During the observation period, it is very difficult on the part of the observer to remember each and every element of observation. So, what are those elements? So, that is the archive substance. So, he may forget much important information. So, if we rely on memory, the factor of forgetting will temper the effect of the data observation. Therefore, the observer should record all important information as soon as the observation is
Kahit nga di-clutch, kaya
completed.
ko.
So, when you are gathering data, dapat daw na right after mong nakagather ng data, mo na yun, inote mo na siya agad. Kasi hindi pwedeng yung memory mo lang yung pag-store mo ng mga na-gather mo na information. Okay? Yes. Then last one is observation is verifiable. Observation result can be checked and verified. Observation must be verified with usual criteria of reliability, validity, and usability. It may be possible to check the findings of observation by comparing the results of different observers by repeating the study. So, dyan na mapasok yung sa research natin yung ang tawag doon? Sa reference, di ba? Yeah. Kasi, maybe someday, someone or somebody uses your yes, para sa kanilang din.
Yes.
Future
Guys.
research.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for listening.